As we develop our application, the knowledge base changes with the objects we add, modify, or delete. At given points throughout the development, we will want the possibility to save the KB in the status of that specific point, as if we were taking a photograph, for instance, to release an initial version of our product. Then, we would continue adding functionalities until we are ready to release a newer version, for which purpose we would freeze our development again with no further changes in order to release that version. GeneXus enables us to create and manage versions of our knowledge base by selecting, in the IDE, the option View Versions. When we do this, we see the versions tree of our KB, which for the time being has only the root node. To obtain a frozen version of the KB at a given point, we right-click on the root node, then we select Freeze, we define a name for it, and then we press Create. The version generated is a copy of the KB that will not accept any changes. In it, we have captured the status of the objects at a given point. If we want to work with this version, for example to view the objects, we right-click on it and select Set as Active. Note that GeneXus informs us that we will not be allowed to modify this version. Something else we might need is to have two editable versions in development without the changes to one version affecting the other version. This may be the case when, for example, we want to customize the system for a specific customer but don't want the changes to have any effects on the standard system, or when we want to include arrangements in a released version but don't want to mix those changes with the new functionalities that we continue to add for the following version of our system. To create a new editable version of the KB, we must be positioned on a frozen version, and then right-click to select New Version. We can see that GeneXus suggests a name, indicating that what we will introduce are enhancements to the frozen version that we started with. To synchronize two versions under development and include the changes of one into the other, we may do this once positioned on the destination version by right-clicking to select Merge Version. In the window, we select the version from which we want to do the synchronization. Once we have several versions, GeneXus enables us to share them and view the differences among them. This is how we may know which changes we have made to the objects in two versions. To do this, we right-click on one of the versions and choose Select Left Side to compare. Then, from the other version, we may choose the version that we selected first, and a window will be opened showing us the differences that exist between the two. And we continue working with the versions of our KB and continue to build a versions tree where the most recent version is the one closer to the initial node. We will then have different situations in time corresponding to our project that will be saved, and will enable a follow-up of all changes made. To learn more about versioning knowledge bases in GeneXus, please visit the following wiki link.